Well, this is the main one that I've focused on. I mean, I've used a couple others in the past, but I wasn't really big on those. It seemed Jasmine was more like a reputable site, so I kind of just stuck there. So,
What were some of the differences to you between Jasmine and the other sites? If you could.
um, mainly, truthfully, maybe like the interface of it. It seemed more intuitive on Jasmine than the other ones. Like some of the things it seemed like you had to jump through a few hoops to even like talk to a model. You know what I mean? Whereas with Jasmine, you just click on a picture and you're there. So
That's really good to hear. Um, did you notice any differences between the models on Jasmine compared to other sites or not so much?
it seems on Jasmine that the models are maybe a little bit more professional than on some of the other sites. It seems like like I mean, it seems maybe the other sites are a little bit more, a little bit less. I mean, a little bit more amateur than like maybe it's just a person in their bedroom. I know some of the models on Jasmine are, but I know a lot are like studio girls. I know that.
Very cool. I like hearing that. um, I'm curious from your perspective, what's the difference between like Jasmine and say like traditional porn?
Let's see. Well, Jasmine, I think it's more the personal interaction. Like like I'm a type person is like yes, I'm looking for a specific thing when I go, but I like the the one-to-one interaction, but I actually like getting to know the model, like the woman underneath the model, you know what I mean? Like to form sort of a relationship.
So it sounds like you really value the connection part.
Yes, yes, yes.
Have you made any strong connections with the models?
I've made one very good, strong connection with one particular model. Yes.
Talk to me about it.
Well, let's see, it was about maybe about almost 3 years ago at this point. I was just there and like I saw this picture and I was like, wow, she looks beautiful. So I clicked on the picture, and she was as advertised, a beautiful woman, and she was doing a VIP show. So I put in for that, and I actually ended up being the only person in the VIP show, so it was kind of like my own personal show. And then afterwards, I was like, you know what? I want to like something about this girl. It just seemed different. You know what I mean? So I bought some more credits. I went in and we had our first private, and yeah, some of the models is you go in, you do what you're there to do, and it's like they're like, hey, thank you, it was great, have a wonderful day. Her, it was different. Like she, after we were done, like we still had maybe like 15 minutes left on my credits, and she started talking to me. She was asking me, like what I did, and things like that. It seemed different. Um, so, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I want to know more about this girl. So, I think I had maybe like two more privates that day with her, just to talk to her. And then like right before the pandemic hit, probably about, I think it was like beginning of February of 2020, I had floated out oh my gosh, I floated out an idea to her. I said, what if I got enough credits that we can maybe spend your entire day together? And she was like, you know what? She goes, I would love that, but I understand if you can't. I was like, well, if I can find a way, I'm going to. So I was fortunate. I found a way. I bought credits, and then like maybe like I said, let's try for like this particular day. So that day, like she come on, I took her private, and we spent like 10 hours together, and it was awesome. Like we explored fantasy things, but the main things we did, like we watched some movies, we talked, we ate lunch together. It was amazing. I've never had an experience with anybody like that, let alone a woman. But And it's just, she's like the main one that I go to anytime, like, like my privates are mainly her. So because it's like I said, it's just, I sense something different about her. And it's just, I enjoy her company. I enjoy talking to her. I just enjoy just everything about her. So
Wow. It sounds like you guys have like a genuine connection. I mean, it's like you said, it's rare that you spend 10 hours with anyone in this day and age where you're not like, okay, you could go home now.
yeah. And I remember I kept saying to her, I'm like, if I'm getting too boring or anything, I was like, just let me know. I was like, we can maybe save it for another, like whatever I have left for another day. She's like, no, I'm enjoying it. She's like, I'm having so much fun. She's like, let's see, let's see how far we go. And then once the end of the day came, she was like, well, she's like, I hate to tell you this, but I have to go home. I was like, well, I understand it. I still, fortunately, like I had overbought, so I had like 5 more hours left of my credits. So the next day we spent like her first half of her day together again. So it was nice. It
Oh
was
my
really nice.
goodness. So like 15 hours total in a
Yeah.
24-hour period. And that's really cool too, because then, you had this, you knew you had something to look forward to that next day with her,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm curious. It sounds like you guys have really developed a strong connection. And I'm curious, what is it about her that you like so much?
I like that she seems like she has a good heart and is just a very open person. And I feel like I can just tell her anything, whether it's good or bad. Like there's been times I've gone in and I've just poured my heart out because I've had like a bad day, or, like about a month ago, we had to put my dog, we had to put her to sleep. So I was able to talk to her, talk that out with her and stuff. And it just seems like she is just somebody that, I could see myself, if not like a relationship, like a very great friendship, maybe for like a lifelong friendship.
Oh yeah, I mean I've heard of that several times. So you would say the main thing that you like so much about her is that she's this person that you can go to, you feel comfortable enough and safe enough to tell her anything.
Yes, I mean, because it's like I've said to her, I was like, you've seen me yeah, like you've seen everything of me. You know what I mean? It's like we've done like everything together. You know what I mean? It's like, so like how could I not be open with somebody like that? You know what I mean? And it's like she never judges, she never criticizes, she just listens, and offer, if I say, what, do you have an opinion on this? She's like, well, I don't. I'd be like, well, I value your opinion. I want to know. It's like, I just want to know what you think.
Wow. You mentioned that she's seen you in all different types of situations and stages, and I'm curious because exactly like a platform like Jasmine provides a really unique experience and opportunity where you can show certain sides and, experience pleasure and fun, but then also you develop this bond. So there you're kind of getting a multifaceted relationship.
Yes.
Why is it that you feel comfortable showing her through this platform sides of yourself that it sounds like you're not really comfortable showing many other people in your day-to-day life?
Maybe because it is because, when you are, in a situation like a Jasmine platform where you are out there, like that is probably one of your most vulnerable states, when you're like undressed or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, and she, like I said, it's like there's no judgment on either side. There's no criticizing, like, I know some people have an image of a cam girl, and it's not a very good one, but like me, I was like, you know what, yeah, this is what you choose to do. It's like this, there is nothing wrong with this, you know what I mean? And it's basically, it's a social media platform, you know what I mean? It's just a social media platform that, contains some nudity, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's the only difference I see between that and like a Facebook is, but it's like I said, it's just like when somebody's seeing you at your most vulnerable like that, is you feel like you can be open and honest with them.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful thing. And I agree with you. You know, Jasmine is a lot like social media. It really is. But I do want to talk to you about something you mentioned, which is that people have this idea of cam girls, which is just not necessarily even fair. There are a lot of people that judge the cam models that have a negative opinion and judgment towards the site. And I'm curious, as someone who's now had 4 or 5 years of experience with the site, who's had really sounds like positive experiences with the models, what would your message be to someone who has this negative judgment or stigma towards the models or the site?
I would say, like if they do have a negative opinion of it, maybe like if, you know, take a model private and just talk to them. Just be like, hey, you know what? Just say to them before, be like, you know what? I'm not really interested in doing like the naked stuff the first time. You mind if I just come in and we just talk? And like, because I've done that with a couple. It's like, you know what? It's because I'm a nervous guy, and I'm a little bit shy. Like, because that was the first time when I visited, my favorite model. Is yeah, I was nervous. Like I didn't even do cam to cam the first time because I was just there. I'm like, she's gonna judge me how I look, but yeah, that would be my suggestion. Just go in and just have a conversation with them, just get to know them. And because I think a lot of them just think, I think a lot of people think that, maybe they come from a broken home, or they have other issues or whatever, and it's not the case. I'm sure, like everybody, they all have issues, but from my experience is they are all very smart women. They're very confident women, and just about every single one has been extremely kind and generous and caring.
Oh, wow. So you would say you've really, in your 4 or 5 years, you've really only had positive experiences with the platform and the models?
I would probably say like 98, 99% positive. Like there's, maybe been like the one or two cases, but I can't even remember because they were that long ago. So it was
Oh,
probably like when I first started coming on. So
that's incredible. In these 4 or 5 years, and maybe you just described it earlier, but do you have a favorite memory on Jasmine that just stands out to you?
it would be that 10-hour day. Like that just I just hope that one day I can do it again. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think we watched 3 movies that day.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so fun.
And it was funny because she would be like, 'cause she's a smoker. She's like, oh, I have to go take a break. Is it okay if we go off and then I come back? I was like, you know what? I'll wait. I was like, you go. I'll just sit here. I'll wait. I was like, I'll go to the bathroom. I was like, we'll just keep the private connected. You go do what you got to do. I was like, I don't want to lose a minute of this. I was like, you go do what you got to do. So
I love that. If you could describe in a few words what value it's bringing to your life, like stress relief, um, joy, pleasure, what would you say it is?
I would say it's probably all the above there. Like it's like I said, if I'm having a bad day, I know I can just come home and I can just hop in, on and hop in and just talk to her. Even if I just send her a message, just be like, hey, I was just having one of them days, just wondering how your day was going. But joy, obviously. I mean, it's like I could be having the worst day possible, and as soon as I see her smile when she sees me, it's just my day just shoots through the roof. It's like it's so nice. So it's like it's nice to appreciate, have somebody appreciate your time that you're taking to see them, and it makes my day.
That's incredible. Yeah, it sounds like it's adding a big piece of connection and comfort even to
Yes,
your life.
yes, I would agree with that. When you come on Jasmine, is like you said, it's almost like, I know it sounds like maybe a little cliche kind of thing, but it's like a freeing thing. It's like I could just be myself. I could just you know have fun, have just all sorts of fun, and just talk and just do basically whatever. You know what I mean? It's nice to just have something like that out there.
Absolutely. And considering how the rest of social media is these days, this is actually a great social media
Yeah,
platform,
yeah,
right?
there's no political things, no fighting. It's just, you know what, we're all just here to have fun. And I always felt that that's how social media used to be. I just wish that's how it still would be. And that's what's nice about Jasmine is you can just come here and know you're not getting any BS. It's just we're here to have fun. That's it. End of story.
Yeah.
It is nice to know that in some, even if it's like a small way, even if it's like, like you said, like a half an hour private or whatever, even if it's just a small way, it's like I know I'm helping that person, live day to day, or realize something that they want to be like. I know she wants to be a makeup artist and she's going to school for that. And I keep telling her, I'm like, you're gonna be world famous someday. I'm gonna see you out there and be like, I know her, and it's like, and she always will be like, as you mean, like, this means so much to me, you have no idea. And it's like, well, as I tell her, I'm like, no, I was like, this means so much to me. I was like, because you take your time as well as, like both take our times and give that to each other. And it's nice to have to know that it is appreciated. You know what I mean? It is very nice both ways.
Yeah. I was about to say, what you put into words so nicely is how mutually beneficial the dynamic and relationship is. There's a lot of joy and pleasure and connection and comfort that you're receiving. And she's also receiving support and encouragement and financial support to make her dreams come true.
Mhm.
So it's like a
Absolutely.
win-win.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for
Oh,
giving
no problem.
such
Thank
an
you.
incredible interview.
Well, thank you.